Hare Krishna. So now we will hear about the important sites at and near Hampi. Hampi has various notable Hindu temples, some of which are still an active place of worship. Among the most notable are Virupaksha Temple, known as the Pampapathi Temple. It is Shiva temple situated in Hampi Bazaar. It predates the founding of the Vijayanagar Empire. The temple has 160 foot, that is 49-meter high tower at its entrance. Apart from Shiva, the temple complex also contains shrines of the Hindu goddesses Bhuvaneshwari and Pampa. The Virupaksha Temple, located at the foot of the hill called Hemakuta Hill, is the core of the village of Hampi. The temple, often called Pampapathi Temple, is the most sacred of the temple of this place. Historically speaking, this temple has an uninterrupted history from about the 7th century. The temple contains the shrines of Lord Shiva. Pampa and Bhuvaneshwari was what was once a small shrine in course of time developed into a large complex under the Vijayanagar ruler. At present, the main temple consists of a Sanctum, three ante chambers, a pillared hall, and a Mukha Mantapa, also called as Ranga Mantapa, or an open pillared hall. A pillared cloister entrance, gateway, courtyard, attendant shrines, and other mantapas surrounded the temple. In 1510 AD, Krishnadeva added the above mentioned Ranga Mantapam. The Ranga Mantapam consists of 38 pillars revealed with sculptures. These pillars are divided into two vertical sections. The first is cut to resemble a rearing yali, a mythical lion standing on a makara, while the second section is basically squared with small relief depicting mostly Shiva themes. These pillars are artistically composed and skillfully constructed. The central ceiling of the Ranga Mantapam is of substantial size. The ceiling as well as the beam supporting the ceiling is covered with painted panels. The panels depict themes from the Mahabharata, the Ramayana and the Shiva Puranas as well as from the contemporary life. Starting at the entrance of the temple is Virupaksha Bazaar or market, largest of the many bazaars Vijayanagara. Each major temple complex has its own bazaar around which is township developed. This is the only bazaar around which a township of a sort still exists. This bazaar is flanked by the main gopura of Virupaksha Temple called Bhishtapas Gopura on the one side and the monolithic Nandi at the other end. The 9 stories storage 53-meter high Gopura add elegance to the 732-meter long and 28-meter wide Virupaksha Bazaar. The other temple of significance in this complex is the shrine of goddesses Bhuvaneshwari. This shrine was rebuilt in the Vijayanagar day over an 11th century temple. This temple is chiefly noted for its marvelous worked door frame pillars and articulately glazed ceiling panels. In the basement of the temple is a shrine with a deity of Lord Vishnu holding scale, said to be for weighting the merits between the holy places of Kashi and Pampa Kshetra, which wins out. Next is Balakrishna Temple. Krishnadeva built this temple in 1513 AD to commemorate his victory over Prataprudra Gajapati, the ruler of Odisha. During the battle, he seized deity of child Krishna and brought it to Vijayanagara as war trophy. He then built this temple to consecrate the deity. An inscription describing the conquest and the consecration of this temple on 16 February 1515 by Krishnadeva is found on the slab in front of this temple. Built in the center of a courtyard, the temple possesses a Sanctum, an antechamber, an Ardha Mandapa, a circumdary path, a pillar hall with three entrances, and an open pillar mandapa, in addition to a number of other shrines for attendant deities. The Sanctum is at present empty. The image of Balakrishna showing him as a child holding butter in the right hand is now resting in the Government Museum at Madras. The inner side of the entrance exhibit beautifully sculpted apsaras standing on mysterious animals and holding scrolls filled with panels showing the 10 incarnations of the Lord. Like all major temple complexes, Krishnapura, a suburb, is developed around this temple. The bazaar is found now a large paddy field. Next is Sri Vijayanagar Temple. If one wants to witness the competition between man and Vishwakarma, the architect god of Hindus, this is the place on earth. Any number of words would fail to do justice to this wonderful monument dedicated to Lord Vithala or Lord Vishnu. Legend has it that Lord Vishnu found it too grand to live in and thus returned to his own humble home. The stone chariot is situated to east of the temple hall. By far, this is the most amazing monument in Hampi and is portrayed as the icon for Hampi. History of this is the construction of this temple started during the reign of King Krishnadeva in the year 1513 AD. The project was so colossal that the additional continued for almost 5 decades until the empire fell down in the year 1565 AD and was never completed. Architectural vision built many of the original Dravidian temple architects, this temple has all the stuff of typical South Indian temple would have. There is small inner main sanctum where the deities are placed. Only the chief priest of the deity is permitted inside this sanctum. The smaller sanctum is followed by a bigger outer shrine where the general public is situated. The monumental decoration of the temple can be seen mainly in this bigger outer house. The temple stands within big halls with 3 gateways on the east, south and north. The temple stands on a strong stone basement with richly carved design of the Krishna's army and dancing girls. The dancing halls and Kalyana Mantapa in the corner are equal worth visiting. The carving on this temple give an insight into the architectural splendor achieved by the artists of the Vijayanagar Empire. The temple consists of 56 musical pillars. When tapped gently, these pillars produce musical sounds. These pillars are popularly known as musical pillars or Saregamapa pillar, after the Saptaswaras of the Indian classical music. The British wanted to check the reason behind this wonder, and so they had cut 2 pillars to check anything was there inside the pillar that were producing the sound. They had found nothing but hollow pillars. Even today we can see those pillars cut by the British. To the east of the hall is a famous stone chariot with stone wheels that actually revolve. In front of the shrine stands the great mandapa. The road leading to the temple was once a market where the horses were traded. Even today we can see the ruins of the market on both the sides of the road. The temple contains the images of the foreigners like Persians selling horses. Next is Hazari Rama Temple. This temple for Lord Rama is popularly known as Hazari Rama Temple or Hazara Rama Temple because of the large number of Ramayan panels on the walls. This temple is believed to have been the private place of worship of the royal family. It was originally called Hajana Rama, which in Telugu means the palace temple. The temple consists of a sanctum, an Ardha Mandapa and a pillared hall to which an open porch with tall and elephant pillars was added subsequently. A high wall encloses the entire complex with the main entrance set on the east. To the south is a small doorway which leads to the Darbar area. The pillar hall is notable for its unique pastimes in the black stones. They are set on a raised horse platform in the middle of the hall. The tall and elephant pillar of the open paunch are also worth a second look. The other structures in this temple complex are a shrine for Devi and Utsava Mandapa. As the name indicates, this temple is famous for its many Ramayana panels. This is the only temple in Hampi where the exterior walls have broadly shelved bas reliefs. These bas reliefs are narrative in nature. The Ramayana epic is carved in detail. Incidents in the story, like Dasharatha performing a sacrifice to beget son, the birth of Rama, his exile into the forest, the abduction of Sita, and the ultimate fight between Rama and Ravana are all carved in a vivid manner. In these panels, the story of Rama and through it the triumph of good over evil is brought out. The genesis of Hampi dates back to the age of Ramayana, where it was the monkey kingdom, Kishkinda. On the wall of the god's Sanctum are two rare descriptions of Vishnu as the Buddha. Though the temple is small, it is a fine example of the skill of Vijayanagara sculptors. Only master craftsmen can coax figure and lake out from Deccan stone. Sheshivakalu Ganesh Temple. On the slope of Hemakuta Hill beyond the Krishna temple, there are two huge stone images of Ganesha. First one is the Sheshivakalu Ganesha, about 2.4 meters tall and ironically named as Sheshivakalu or mustard seed. The pot belly of the god is in the shape of mustard seed, and therefore the name Sheshivakalu means of mustard seed in the local language. The god is seated in a large open mandapa with plain rough square pillars. The right hand holds the ankusa and broken tusk, while the other left hand a looped pasa or nose. The lower left hand and the trunk are broken. The belly is tied with a snake. This Ganesha is fashioned out of a single boulder in sitting position. Next is Kadalekalu Ganesha Temple. On the slope of Hemakuta Hill, named the Sasivekalu Ganesha, is another monotel called in the same vein, the Kadalekalu, that is gram seed Ganesha. The huge seated Ganesha, carved in the round out of a massive boulder, is above 4.5 meter height and is housed in a large shrine with a fine open pillar mandapa in front. The temple also forms one of the important points from which a good and picturesque view could be had to the Hampi monuments. Next is Matanga Hill. The visitor who makes all effort to climb this hill will be rewarded with a breathtaking view of the Hampi landscape. One will then appreciate for thought of Vijayanagara ruler in choosing Hampi as their capital. A beautiful view of the Raya temple can be seen from on the top of this hill. The name the Matanga Hill comes after the sage Matanga Rishi, who used to live in this hill in Treta Yuga, this period of Ramayana. It is also the place where Sugriva benefited from the magical protection of the sage Matanga, who had placed a curse of death on Vali if he dared to enter the area of Matanga Hill. Next is Prasanna Virupaksha Temple, more popularly known as underground Virupaksha Temple. This is situated to the west of the Danyak enclosure. A large broken low slab containing an inscription which records a grant to the temple by Parasara Virupaksha by King Krishnadeva on the occasion of his coronation. Malyavanta Raghunatha Swami. On the road towards the Kampali stands the temple of Malyavanta Raghunatha Swami. It is here where Lord Rama and Lakshmana stayed for the rainy season after Sugriva had been installed from the throne. It was also here where Rama and Lakshmana stayed while Hanuman went to search for Sita, the main one of which has a Sanctum with images in black stone Ram Lakshmana who are in sitting position with the standing Sita and Hanuman kneeling near them carved from a boulder. The scene is said to depict how Rama and Lakshmana was dismayed and discussing the means to save kidnapped Sita. Down the hill from here, heading west, is Madhuvan, which has a little temple of Hanuman. It was here where the monkeys stopped to enjoy the garden of fruit after Sita has been found. Ugra Narsingha. Nearby is 6.7-meter tall monolith of Ugra Narsingha. An inscription nearby states that it was born from a single boulder in 1528 during the reign of Krishnadeva. Lakshmi Narsingha. This giant monolithic statue of the man-lion god is the largest icon in Hampi. Narsimha, which is one of the avatar incarnations of Lord Vishnu, is depicted in a cross-legged seated position. It's believed that the original image contained his consort Lakshmi sitting on his lap. This image was destroyed during the enemy invasion. Currently, only a hand of the lotuses resting on his waist can be seen. Nearby is a shrine with huge 3-meter high Shiva Linga called Badavi Linga. It is permanently surrounded by water that comes through an ancient canal. Next is King's Balance. Hampi is also full of surprises like the King's Balance, where kings were weighted against grain, gold or money, which was then distributed to the poor. The Queen's Bath, a swimming pool 50 feet long and 6 feet deep, with its arched corridors, projecting balconies and lotus-shaped fountain that once sprouted perfumed water. The two has been destroyed now. Next is Lotus Mahal. Shaped like a lotus flower from top, this two-story structure has beautifully archways set in geometric regularity. It was an air-cooled summer place of the Queen. Elephant Stable. This huge stable, a beautiful example of Hindu-Muslim style of architecture, housed about 11 elephants in compartments. Next is Achyutaraya Temple. This temple can be reached either from Kodanna Rama Temple through the bazaar, wrongly called Solai Bazaar, or Courtesan Street, or from the Virupaksha Bazaar by climbing the steps next to the monolithic Nandi at the end of the bazaar. Achyutaraya Temple is a large complex built by an officer of the King Achyutaraya, Salakaraju Tirumala Deva. This temple is better known as Achyutaraya Temple, in whose period it was built rather than the name of the deity Tiruvengalanatha or Lord Venkateshwara. Next is Hemakuta Hill. Hemakuta Hill, south of the Virupaksha Temple, contains early ruins, Jain temples and a monolithic sculpture of Lord Narsimha, a form of Lord Vishnu. Hemakuta Hill offers excellent view of Hampi Bazaar. Lord Shiva did penance on the Hemakuta Hill before he married Padmavati. This was also the place where Lord Shiva burned Kama, the god of lust. The sacred hill lies to the upper right of the Virupaksha Temple. Kodanda Rama Temple. The Kodanda Rama Temple is situated towards the east of Hampi at the end of the Virupaksha Bazaar. A small pathway from Virupaksha Bazaar at the east end leads along the river bank to Kodanda Rama Temple. This temple faces Chakra Tirtha, the most sacred bathing ghat in the river. The spot marks the place where Lord Rama crowned Sugriva as the king of Kishkinda. The rectangular Garbhagriha of the temple contains about 15-meter tall standing figures of Lord Rama, Sita and Lakshmana. These deities are carved out of a natural boulder. Just behind the temple of Kodanarama are the temples for Sudarshana in the shape of a human figure with 16 hands and Yatrodharak Anjaneer or Hanuman. Next is Pattabhirama Temple. The temple is about 0.8 kilometers to the east of Kamalapura. Though it contains two inscriptions of King Achyutaraya, its date is not clearly visible. The east-facing Sanctum is a three-talavimana with an Antarala, Ardhamandapa and Mahamandapa. The large and square Mahamandapa is a finely proportioned 7 structure with tall and slender composition pillars of various types. Pampa Sarovar. Pampa Sarovar is a lake in Koppal district near Hampi in Karnataka. To the south of the Tungabhadra river, it is considered sacred by Hindus and is one of the 5 sacred sarovars of lakes in India. Pampa Sarovar is regarded as the place where Pampa, a form of Shiva's consort Parvati, performed penance to show her devotion to Shiva. The Pampa Abhishekam takes next to the Kund is small. It is also one of the Sarovar that finds or mentioned in the Hindu epics. Ramayana, Pampa Sarovar is mentioned as a place where Shabri, also Shabir, a disciple of Rishi Matanga, directed Rama as her journey southwards on his quest to redeem Sita, his wife, from the demon Ravana. According to the story, Shabri, a pious devotee of Rama, placed faithfully every day to see Ram. She lived in the ashram of her guru Matanga in the place known as Matanga Parvat in Hampi. Before her guru Matanga Rishi died, he told her she would certainly see Rama. After his death, Shabri continued to live in the ashram, awaiting Rama. Many years passed by and Shabri became an old woman. Before Rama stopped at the ashram of his journey to Lanka, she proceeded to feed Rama and his brother Lakshmana. Touched by her pity, Rama and Lakshmana bowed down at her feet. Then they narrated to her the incident of Sita's kidnapping, and Shabri suggested that they seek help from Hanuman and Sugriva of the Monkey Kingdom, who lived further south near the Pampa Lake. 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya came here too. Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Leela, chapter 9, verse 311 states, Dhanus Tirtha Dehi Karila Nirvadhya Snane Rakshamuka Giri Aila Dandakaranye. Lord Chaitanya next arrived at Dhanush Tirtha, where he took his bath in the river Nirvidya. He then arrived at Shamukha mountain and then went to Dhanakaranya. Purport says, according to some opinion, Rakshamukha is a chain of mountains beginning at the village of Hampi Grama in the district of Bellary. The mountain claims begins along the banks of the river Tungabhadra, which gradually reaches the state of Hyderabad. Chaitanya Charitamrit 9 chapter verse 316 states, Prabhu aise kaila pampa saravare snan, panchavati asi taha karila vishram. Eventually, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at a lake known as Pampa, where he took his bath. He then went to a place called Panchavati, where he rested. Purport: according to some, the old name of the Tungabhadra river was Pampa. According to other, Vijayanagara, the capital of the state, was known as Pampatirtha. According to still others, the lake near Annakundi is the direction of Hyderabad is Pampa Sarovar. The river Tungabhadra also flows through there. There are many different opinions about the lake called Pampa Sarovar. Next is Lord Nityanand's traveling to the holy places. Lord Nityananda next took bath in the Gomati, that is Gandaki, the Sona and Sona river. He also climbed the top of Mahendra mountain. There he offered obeisances to Lord Parshurama. He also visited Haridwara, the source of Ganges. The Lord took bath in Pampa, Bhimarati, Venva and Vipasa river, and in Vrindavan Das Thakur Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Adi Leela chapter 9. Thereafter Sri Nityananda went to Gomati and bathed in the water of Gandaki and Sona. He climbed the Mahendra hill where he offered obeisances to Lord Parshuram. From there he travelled to Haridwar, the source of Mother Ganga. He visited Pampa, Bhima, Godavari, Benva, and in the Pipasa or Vyasa river, he remained submerged in the water for a while. Pampa Sarovar is also famous for the Pushti Marg Vaishnavas, wherein Srimad Vallabhacharya had performed Srimad Bhagavat in the 16th century. Next is Anjaneya Hill, the hilltop Hanuman temple. His hill, believed to be the birthplace of Hanuman, is located in the center of the Anigund area. Original Kishkinda. You can see this hill from the Hampi side of the river as you track along the Kampabhupas, the riverside trek path. At the top of the hill is the temple dedicated to Hanuman. He was born to Anjana, thus Hanuman is also known as Anjaneya, and his birthplace as Anjaneyadri, that is Anjaneya's hill. On the way up there is one place called Kesari Tirtha, the cave where Hanuman's father Kesari had lived. The deity of Hanuman is carved on the rock. Also is the small shrine for Ram and his consort Sita inside the temple. In Anigunda is the old Raghunatha temple where worship still continues. In Sanctum there is small Vishnu deity about the feet long, reclining on Sheshanga. In the back of the temple on the right side is a separate shrine to Lakshmi. Not far from the temple is the Samadhi tomb of Madhavacharya's disciple Narahari Tirtha. Hampi Yatrodhara Anjaneya Temple. Situated right behind the Kodamba Rama Temple near the Chakra Tirtha, Yatrodhara Anjaneya Temple, also known as Yatrodhara Anjaneya Temple, is one of the most sacred places in Hampi. The temple is dedicated to Lord Hanuman. The temple has a very interesting story behind its origin. Sri Vyasatirtha, a great scholar saint during the reign of King Krishnadeva, used to go to very calm spot on the banks of river Tungabhadra and meditated uninterrupted. One day while he was meditating in a hillock near Chakratirtha, an image of Lord Hanuman kept coming on his mind. This happened only at that particular spot and nowhere else, even in nearby hillocks. Sri Madhavacharya, believed to be an incarnation of Lord Hanuman, appeared in the dream of Sri Vyasatirtha and instructed him to install a deity of Lord Anjaneya Hanuman. The next time Sri Vyasatirtha saw the image in the middle of the meditation. Without any delay, he drew the image from his mind onto a rock using an angara, that is coal used by Brahmins during puja performance. To his surprise, a monkey came to life from the rock and jumped out of the rock, and his drawing would disappear. He repeated the process of drawing, and every time a monkey would jump out of the rock and drawing would disappear. This happened 12 times. Full of surprise, Sri Vyasatirtha finally decided to bind the image of Lord Hanuman in a yantra. A small temple was built there, and hence the temple has the name Yatrodhara Anjaneya. In the core of the yatra is the statue of Lord Hanuman in Padmasana position. This is probably the only temple of Lord Hanuman in a sitting position, which is generally in a flying or blessing position. The yatra The yantra here is a form of binding which looks like a six-cornered star. The star is encircled in a circle with flames going outwards, giving it the drawing look of a sun. A closed Benzi-like ring of 12 monkeys holding each other's tail can also be found around the star and the sun, which forms the outermost scantrum of the yantra. Its place where Hanuman first saw Lord Ram and Lakshmana. Sugriva's cave, located almost on the river shore, this is a naturally formed cave by huge boulders, one leaning over each other. It's believed that this is the place where Sugriva lived. He used the cave to hide the jewel dropped by Sita when the demon king Ravana abducted her. Later, Sugriva met Rama and Lakshmana nearby the riverside, searching for Sita. It's believed that this is the place where Sugriva lived. He used the cave to hide the jewel dropped by Sita when the demon king Ravana abducted her. Later, Sugriva met Rama and Lakshmana nearby the riverside searching for Sita. The colored pattern at the rock is local parcel called Sita Kunda. It depicts the pattern on the costume of Sita. Near the cave at the riverside, Sugriva met Lord Rama and Lakshmana when they came here in search of goddess Sita. A number of carved footprints can be seen on the floor of this flat surface. This depicts the footprint of Rama and Lakshmana. Notice them carefully. Hare Krishna.